Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Can't Save 'Em All. I want to appreciate you checking in. If you hadn't already done so, hit like, share, subscribe, smash the bell. We've got a table full of new parts here today. Courtesy of Brian Tooley Racing, I cannot speak any higher about a certain company. Those guys are a great set of guys. They come through for me. They even sent a big banner, which is up underneath the massive amount of parts. So we have the truck Norris cam, we have head bolts, we have the BTR valve springs, all valve train components, lifters, all the necessary gaskets. Today we're working on a 5.3 liter. We're going to get the camshaft in it. So the end goal for this whole project, today is I believe September 8th or 9th. My entire goal is to have this truck at LS Fest. Try to enter it into the under construction part of the show. So guys, cross your fingers for us. Hopefully we'll make it. Thank you. Hey everyone, sorry about how the video ended it yesterday. Apparently 99 degrees here in this shop was a little too much for our camera systems. So I just want to catch you up on the 5.3 junkyard budget build. We have all the BTR parts installed. We have the Truck Norris camshaft in. All the valve springs have been put in. We're still waiting on our rocker arms. We also put on our hot rod oil pan, ARP head studs, new head gaskets, like I said, valve springs, locks, retainers, valve seals, new push rods. So today we're going to focus on cleaning up the engine bay to the 54. We do have our radiator test fit in there. So the 54 engine bay is pretty grody. We're going to do our best to get it cleaned up. We had to make a run this afternoon after looking into the rear end of the truck. So come to find out, we have some rear end issues. I don't know if anyone recognizes this setup. Miss Luna Tuna there trying to get cool. It is hot out here, y'all. Our phone's already shut down once trying to get this recorded. So I still have the transmission to remove, but the transmission and the drive shaft do not have normal universal joints. And the same for where the drive shaft attaches to the rear axle. This is called a torque tube. So it'd be virtually impossible to get our transmission to hook up to this. So this rear end's going to have to come out. It's still on leaf springs. So here in a few minutes I'll show you the new rear end. It's not my first choice, but it's what was available and what I could afford right now with all the other money I've put into this truck and other parts. So we're going to get this truck pulled out of here, pressure wash the engine bay, and get the new rear end ready to be put underneath it. Get the old transmission out. Hey Luna, you hot girl, ain't you?
I am too.
You hot too, buddy? Alright, we'll show you the new rear end. So we just went and picked this rear end up today from a friend of ours. It come out of a 1968 Chevrolet Camaro. The width on the 54 model rear end from inside a hub to inside a hub or flange is 56.5 inches. This is 54 3/4. So before we buy wheels, I want to get this axle mocked up to make sure I have plenty of brake clearance and all that good stuff. And if I just buy a standard off the shelf wheel, we could pull the wheel too far into the chassis and the part of the inner fender well. So we don't want any issues with any clearance issues or anything hitting that's not supposed to. So he had previously washed the axle perches off with a torch. Those perches wouldn't work on our application for the 54 anyways. It's got a narrower leaf spring than the 68 Camaro did. So just to fill you in on where we are, the LS is about ready to go in the truck. I've got another 4.8 liter that I'm going to use to mock up. The engine mounts are supposed to be here tomorrow or Monday. So this is the 4.8 liter. It already has exhaust manifolds on it. So we're going to be able to put a chain on that and the cherry picker, drop it into the truck, into the engine bay, and that'll show me any clearance issues I have here. We do have a set of Speed Engineering headers ordered. They're supposed to work in this application, but we're just changing so many different things right now. It's hard to tell what's actually going to work. My biggest concern right now is the steering box. So you see the cross member where the input shaft of the transmission's resting. For our current setup, that won't even be used. So we're going to get this old girl cleaned up, get her pressure washed, get the torque tube rear end pulled out, and get the new rear end ready to go. she is now cleaned up the best that I can. I don't know if you can see all that dirt very good, but this old girl was absolutely filthy. I tried to spray up underneath the chassis best I could. That way when I'm pulling the rear end out, the transmission, that's a little bit less dirt to fall into my eyes. So the engine bay is 6 different colors. It's kind of neat to see the transition of the old truck throughout the years. All the different paint colors and paint schemes involved with it. We've got some Chevrolet orange, some turquoise, some black. So it's kind of cool to look back on different layers of paint like this, and you wonder if was this some kid's truck in high school, in the 60s or 70s or something like that. And I know the teal was pretty popular and popping back then, but we got a lot of grime and grit off of her. There's still a lot more. We're going to continue cleaning her up. Right now Alan is going to take apart the rear end cover.
Right now?
Yep, go ahead, buddy. And I believe this is probably an 8.2 out of a 68 Camaro. I'll try to find some numbers on it and be able to let you know for sure.
Oh. Different combinations of bolts.
Different sizes?
No different sizes.
Just different types? Go ahead. Dugga dugga. Dugga dugga. Do we need to keep the chrome rear end cover? Make that face again.
It'll stand out.
So it won't be long. This truck will be so low you won't even see it.
Yeah, airbags.
You want to put airbags on it?
I think we should.
We'll see. We'll have to do a chassis swap for that.
Oh, we got a chassis right over there.
Yep. So we bought another chassis. I don't know how good you can see it. It's got an air conditioner unit sitting on it right now, but it's a 50s model Chevrolet chassis, and it's got a 70 model 2nd generation Camaro front clip welded to it. But I'm kind of torn on going that route versus an S10 chassis. S10 chassis, you get updated brakes, you can buy one rolling. This truck you have to have a long bed S10, and there's a cab and bed mount kit. I think it's $1,200–$1,400, but basically comes with all your mounts. You just bolt it to the S10 chassis and it's good to go. Was that the last one?
One more.
One more. All right, you'll have to go get the hammer and a straight slot screwdriver. I'll show you how to pop that case off. Dugga dugga.
I guess Ugga Dugga is a magic word.
Dugga dugga.
Ugga Dugga Dugga.
Looks like they have some kind of glue around the drain plug or fill plug there.
It ain't helping us.
That's interesting.
It ain't helping us.
All right, go grab a hammer and a straight slot screwdriver. No. All right, so you need to pick you a spot like right here where you can put the one side of the screwdriver against the housing and one spot against the cover, just like that. Tap, tap, tap. You might not even need to tap. Give her a good pry.
Oh, I won't need tap tap.
You don't think you're gonna need tap tap? Get after it, strong man. Get after it.
Whoa.
Yeah. All right. Open carrier.
What would that do?
Mm-mm. I don't know, buddy. We're gonna have to investigate that. So we did get a new rear end cover gasket. Bought it for an 8.2. I'm really hoping it's an 8.5, but we'll go from there. Alan, go to the other side and turn where the drive shaft connects.
Drive shaft connects?
Yep.
Yep, that's where.
Can you turn it?
I've got an idea.
No. You can't turn it?
It ain't turning.
No, that's not good. All right, you come hold this.
Okay, how come can you do it so easily, but it was impossible for me? I don't understand that. I really don't understand that.
Your daddy ate his Wheaties this morning. So I would much rather be putting a 4 9-inch rear end up underneath this truck. Know we're going to be thrashing on some, but not much at all with this little 8.2. But we're kind of under the gun trying to get this truck ready for LS Fest. We've got how many days left?
I don't even know.
21 maybe, something like that. 19,
Pretty sure.
21. So it's still going to be a stretch. So we're kind of down to the wire. Most of the parts will be trickling in the rest of this week. I still have to order a computer controller for the coil packs for the 5.3. We're running a non-computer controlled transmission, so a 700R. That'll eliminate some of the headache. The motor mount kit I have ordered for this truck actually mounts to the inside of the chassis. The previous motor mount was just behind the harmonic balancer, so it didn't have side mounts like a small block Chevrolet or something like that. So we're gonna keep going, keep pushing. So we got our gasket from O'Reilly's today. It lines up perfectly, so pretty good chance this is an 8.2. Alan, set this on the seat of the truck, please. We're gonna go ahead and dump out the old rear end dope. Glad to see it's not too milky. Doesn't look like a lot of water's been sitting in it, but it is filthy. Looks like we're about to get rained out. So we'll get the truck pushed back into the shop, get the rear end moved in there, keep going. All right, everybody, we got the rear end case cover back on it. Went ahead and shot a little paint around it. It's going to be kind of hard to get to the top of the hog head whenever I get it under the truck. So the previous owner of the rear end was going to put it into another project. So the leaf spring perches have been removed. Not a big deal. See if you can see the other side. Just a little bit of slag left from the torch. So Mr. Michael from Toodles Design and Fab, his website is www.classiccarmetalwork.com. That's the gentleman I got this axle from, and I'm telling you, he does some of the slickest sheet metal work I've ever seen on any vehicle, hands down. So if you're in the CSRA area or further out, he's definitely the go-to. He also provided us with some brand new pieces here, so we can get these tacked on. We're going to set it up temporary until we get our pinion angle set, and I want to make sure I have the transmission and drive shaft length correct before I set the pinion angle and get the truck back on the ground. Make sure it's got the right weight on the back end to get that pinion angle correct. So we're going to do a little bit of grinding here, get this cleaned up, then we're going to jack the truck up and start pulling the old rear end out. We've got our area cleaned up on both sides. We've got the old remnants of the perch metal removed, so it's nice and shiny, clean. We've got a nice sealing surface for our new perch mounts. So what we're gonna have to do now is get up underneath the truck, take some measurements. I always try to get an inside to inside measurement on the leaf springs where they currently are right now, an outside to outside, and then a center to center. So obviously on a leaf spring truck, the pads are mounted to the rear end housing itself. So you can always go back and reference that rear axle and where those mounts are for any dimensions that you might need. So this rear end came out of a 68 Camaro It also was a leaf spring car, but the width difference right now, this is about 2.5 inches narrower than the rear end that's in the truck now. So we may have to make up the difference with some back spacing or something like that, some spacers. I hope not, but maybe we can get some custom back spacing wheels or something ordered. So we're gonna jump up underneath the truck, take a couple measurements, and jack the truck up and get the rear end pulled out. All right, everybody, it's 11:22 p.m. That is the transmission.
Tiny.
3 on the tree. See your little speedometer cable attachment there.
Smallest transmission.
So this is the torque tube drive shaft. So as you see right here, there's no universal joint. I was really hoping to run this rear end just for the time savings, but wouldn't have any way to hook our drive shaft up to it. So this rear end's out. This rear end's prepped and ready to go. That's gonna have to wait till another day. We gotta go get cleaned up because we are absolutely filthy. Get ready to go to church in the morning and hopefully work on it tomorrow. All right, Alan, tell them to do what?
Like, subscribe, put the notifications on.
Share it. Slam the bell, smash the bell, ring the bell. All right, everybody, have a good night. Thank y'all for watching. Share this with a friend, please. Thank you. Bye.